Hey, you guys. Good Monday morning to you. Welcome. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about Peter Zeihan. What's he getting right? What's he getting wrong? And where do I think he's absolutely correct? By the way, he makes predictions on what's going to happen in the future, which is a bold statement. And sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right. Hey, I predicted that the market economy would crash 9 months, about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. And no, it's really just starting to take hold now in parts of Florida, Arizona, West Coast. And I did say there are some markets that are going to be safe from it, just like there was in 2008, how like Utah was. Anyway, bottom line, why is this the case? You're going to get some stuff right, you're going to get some stuff wrong. But, because people do things that you don't anticipate. Anyway, what's he getting right? Shipping. Look, right now, if you're a flagged vessel, a lot of people have these countries that protect them legally and everything else. Well, that's great tax-wise. That's great when there's no piracy. But if you know anything, the Houthi rebels just took an Israeli ship. At some point, the Houthis are just going to say, all I want is a strong box and sink the vessel. I'm done with it. Because getting onto a cargo ship that carries cars is not an easy feat. And they did it. And if they did that, they probably got an idea of how they're going to do the rest of it. You could expect a rinse and repeat operation going on there. That said, there's a lot of shipping that goes through the Suez Canal. That screws up a lot of stuff. Also, Argentina just torpedoed and made a U-boat out of a Chinese fishing vessel. And by the way, this is a sign that he got right is, hey, food's getting tight in China because China does a lot of their food via their ocean fishing. They got an enormous ocean fish fleet. If you start turning that into submarines, you start starving the Chinese. They don't make enough food on land to support their population. So you're looking at a really interesting scenario. Also, you're talking extremely long distances. That said, one thing I think he got wrong, Ukraine. He said, everything that's going to the Ukraine, it's old equipment that we're no longer using except for like 2 Patriot batteries. Look, I want you to think about it this way. A lot of stuff, it's just like what the Russians did. They had some old T-55s, T-62s. They keep that stuff in storage. Why? Because once all their good stuff is done, they can still at least drag that stuff out of inventory and get, let's say, a few hundred units together. Not that they're great, but I tell you what, if you're a guy with a rifle and all of a sudden you're staring down the barrel of a T-62, you're screwed. So, and our stuff is certainly a heck of a lot better than a T-55 or a T-62. Our stuff that we put in storage or stuff that we give to our allies or something, or stuff that we give to the, the National Guard unit in the middle of nowhere, well, it's significantly better than a T-62. So, I'm going to call you on that one, Peter. You're kind of over-exaggerating. Yeah, and by the way, as far as like, oh yeah, they're not stealing. When there's a lot of stuff. And by the way, I do think you got it right on the artillery and ammunition and stuff, and that is huge. Everybody always thinks, it's a guy and another guy shooting at you. No, that's not what stops a battle. If you look at all the big, big battles in the Ukraine where you put 1,000+ guys to sleep in one day, it's all done by artillery on both sides of the front. So it's artillery that really does the damage. It's the infantry guy that holds the ground, but it's the artillery that does the pounding. So anyway, so all in all, 2 right, 1 wrong. Yeah, it's pretty good, I'll take that, and then I'm not even talking about all the other stuff he gets right. So, well, let's give him, accolades to Peter Zeihan, and, just maybe you need somebody to give you a little bit more tutelage on military equipment. All right. Peace.